Alright, this is G7 the Beatmaker on G7 the Beatmaker's channel. Today I'm going to be hooking up my keyboard. Today I'll be hooking up my keyboard on the computer and making a beat with it. And what I'll be doing is showing you exactly how to set it up using RCA cables and using a mixer with a keyboard. And the reason why I'm doing this is because a lot of people want to work with me, and I always tell them that they should just buy their own equipment and do it themselves, because it would be a lot more convenient if you had your own equipment, if you wanted me to come to your house and make music with you. It just seems reasonable. You should have your own studio if you want to work with me. That's all I gotta say. Other than that, if you don't have your own studio, you don't worry about it. You know, don't worry about working with me, because it's unnecessary. There's always other people you can work with. Alright, other than that, I have a CASIO keyboard, and it has MIDI ins and outs, a sustain, outlet button for power, and it has a phone's output for a 1/4 inch headphones or whatever you want to have. But today I'll be using this kind of 1/4 inch piece with 2 RCA cables. Both are audio, and I'm gonna hook them up into my mixer to this, or maybe I might hook it up to my tape deck, and then from my tape deck to my mixer, and then my mixer back to my computer, and then I'm running my audio from my computer back to my mixer into my radio, so I'll be able to hear it. But other than that, I'll be making a beat in Cool Edit. Cool Edit isn't recommended by me. It's just something I've learned how to use in radio station and music production. And I'm gonna use FL Studio. It's the studio I always like working with, because it's convenient for me as far as me coming up with an idea and a scratch pad, and that's the only thing we'll be using today. So let's begin. Just testing the sound, see what it sounds like. Turn this all the way down. Now I just turn it up gradually as soon as I start to use it. I'm gonna start with, I don't know, I'll just play random and then record it, and then I'll let you get some insight on it. Since I got everything I need to use, let me just figure out exactly where my sound is coming from. I don't know where my sound is coming from. Is it coming from the third input or the middle input? It's coming from the third input. So I'm gonna bring it down a little bit low, because it's kind of distorted, and I did it distorted I did it distorted for a reason, so I can have a particular sound. And I'm just gonna make a piano beat, highs and lows. So, and let's see if I can find some drums for it. I'm gonna start with the drums first. Where are all the drums? Okay, 99 is the drums. Let me see if my level's alright. Alright, I got my drum now. Let's see what it sounds like. See if I can loop it. Alright, I got my little loop going. Let's see if I can fix it. Alright, I got my little loop going. Let me see if I can copy it and repaste it. I say I copy it and paste it about 4 times, just so I can have my own little loop, and place it in the tracker, or what are you gonna call it. Then after that, I'm gonna play and see what I want to keep, and see if I want to keep it. I like how that sounds. Alright, I got this up. Sorry, use it. I like how that sounded, so I want to keep that. And all I'm gonna do is just put it on solo, and then export it, and then place it back in. I hope you all can see this, but that's what I'm doing, so I can have a little loop. And I'm gonna go back and make sure it's normalized, so I'll be able to normalize it the way I want to, because it's not normalized. And when I put it back in FL Studio, I'm gonna go back and sync it in. And that's just like a little piece of what I'm gonna end up doing. Let's see what it sounds like. That's just a simple little beat, and let me see if I can add some. Let me turn it up a little bit, and then let me just let me see. I guess I can add like a little melody or something to it and play to it. It doesn't hurt, does it? Yeah. Let me see if that'll work. It sounds like it'll work. It's my beat. I'm able to do whatever I want to for my beat, right? Yeah, it's nothing but music. It's music I made up as I'm going. Alright, let's see what we can add to make sure it sounds right. And, you know, that's all that we're doing. Just cheap and simple, easy way to set up everything. Let's see what we got. Sounds like a little keyboard toy beat, you know, toy type beat. See if I can add that to it. No, this is what I like to do. I like to put it on loop and then play. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, I guess that's gonna work. Some people aren't creative, and some people are creative, and I like to give a shout out to either or, because they're still creative. And There's some people I'm not gonna give a shout out to because they don't deserve a shout out. They don't act like they deserve a shout out. And I think this is the end of the beat right here, because what else can you add else to it? Because it's so perfect, you know. That's my distortion beat, and I'm gonna make plenty more beats on this particular channel. And don't forget to check out my main channel. My main channel is NC17ATNCE101. I like to shoot clouds. You know, who doesn't like to shoot clouds with that camera, right? Other than that, check out my Tumblr. I'm mostly on Tumblr all the time. And thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it has helped you understand and realize who I am. Because I like making music, and I like listening and making music and figuring out how music works. And this is my formula, and this is how I work. And thanks for watching. Peace. Alright, I have FL Studio up, and I gotta locate my samples that I saved, so I'm able to place it and edit them, so I'll be able to mix it as far as these patterns I made with my keyboard. And I'll show you how it's done. As soon as it's located, the first thing I'm able to do is place it into a slicer and check and see exactly how much the BP is, what kind of BPM it has. If you don't know what BPM means, just look it up on Google, because it just means beats per minute, you know. Other than that, I'm gonna load the drum pattern in and see what it sounds like. No, see what the BPM is. Alright, I found the BPM, and I'm gonna place it to the right BPM and place it into a mixing track, and I'm place a compress on it and put it on the complete mix and place the next one where it needs to go. I think I'm missing a part. Oh no, I'm not missing a part. Alright, as soon as I get everything tracked up, I'm gonna just let you hear it, and then after you listen to it, yeah, that's the next thing I'm gonna do. All I'm doing now is just placing everything where it needs to go, and that's pretty much it. And alright, everything's placed where it needs to go, and everything's brought down so I can bring it up, or either EQ it or whatever else I need to do to it, place effects on it, and let's look at it. Oops, when I was recording, I forgot to save the drum pattern. Let's make the drum pattern over, and it's easy to do. Nothing to complain about. A lot of people complain, they be like, oh, you erased something, I'll just add the Boss DR220 on it, because it sounds legit. Dum 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 dum. And since I got the beat now, I can always switch the drums around, you know. It's easy shit to do. And then once you got everything placed into the mixer track, you just mix the way that you think is the best way to mix, because it's your beat. I'm not going to tell you how to mix your beat. Well, I just got to place the kick drums where they need to go, and then after I place the kick drums where they need to go, I'm just going to place them in the mixing track, and let's listen to the beat. There's a lot of ways to mix and everything else, but let the mixer do all the mixing, because what's the point in that, you know what I'm saying? If you're just a recorder and somebody likes to record, hey, you can play around a keyboard forever. You can play with vocals forever. You can write lyrics that sound dumb as hell, and then, you know, just get the mixer to just mix everything out. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta produce a record. You can just act like you're producing a record and give it to the mixer, and the mixer just handles everything as far as vocals, mixing, drums, whatever you want to call it, EQing, because they pretty much know how your album's supposed to sound, you know what I'm saying, as far as some mixing, you know. Now me, I know how to mix, and I'm just lazy, man. Like, nobody's paying me to mix. People aren't paying me to record, you know what I'm saying? People aren't paying me to come up with these ideas that I have. You know, what's the point? You know, I'm not trying to be the best of my ability when it's just something that it's uncalled for, you know.